Hi, with this little video I would like to acknowledge and thanks the International Association for Jungian Studies who last Friday, 1 week ago, published the nomination for their book award. So they published the book award finalists for single books or author books or edited books published in 2012, and very happy because my first book, titled Breakfast at Küsnacht, you can see it over there in hardcover, Breakfast at Küsnacht, Conversation on Carl Gustav Jung and Beyond, has been named finalist, and it is a great honor because this is my first book. I remember my training analyst at the time, when Chiron offered to publish it, she said this is an opportunity, and she was right. An opportunity for putting down thoughts, ideas, conversation that I had since 2017 with a senior analyst. I would never think that such book would be named with and among two of the greatest post-Jungians, Tom Singer and Renos Papadopoulos. I mean, for me, I'm already a winner. To be named is already winning, because Tom and Renos' book are a really serious book, really academic book. Tom, who keeps working on cultural complexes, published a book titled Cultural Complexes and the Soul of America, Myth, Psyche and Politics. And I know how important this book and these themes are for Tom, especially looking at what happened in America in the past 4 years, what is happening now in America. So congratulations to Tom, and congratulations to Renos, who edited a book titled Moral Injury and Beyond, Understanding Human Anguish and Healing Traumatic Wounds. I mean, these are real books. So I'm happy to be the third bronze medal. But I'm very, very happy because this book, which is really, as Verena cast, idiosyncratic, it doesn't really have a beginning and an end, is very much me. In late 16, I came up with the idea to interview Jungians, senior Jungians, linked to the Carl Gustav Jung Institute. So I started asking people if they wanted to be interviewed by me. The first one was Wolfgang Gigerich, my clinical supervisor at the time, and he said no, obviously, understandably. The second one was perhaps the most senior, an alchemist, Dr. Alfred Ribi, who accepted, and we spent hours talking. And only after hours talking about von Franz, Hilma and Jung, we realized we had to record. And it's a pity because what was recorded is less juicy than what was not recorded. And I want to thank those that actually helped me to publish this book, because every book has a cost. It's myth that books don't cost, but every book has a cost. And I want to thank Paula Tinello, Ursula Brasch, John Beebe, Andrew Samuels, and Heather Formaini for having donated money so that this book will get published. So thank you. It's also thanks to you that this nomination is out there. This book is so rich in terms of a contribution, but before to look at the contributors, I have also to thank Elizabeth, my friend and colleague from Küsnacht, who transcribed all the interviews from Zurich. Without her work, this book would not be there. So this nomination is also for you. Paula Tinello and I talked about Carl Gustav Jung and thinking about HIV, AIDS. John Beebe talked about Jung, the concept of anima, animus, homosexuality and integrity. Integrity is a very, very important concept that he brought up in the 80s and 90s. With Ursula, my dear Ursula Brasch, dear friend, we talked about Jung and the I Ching. She's a world-leading expert on the I Ching, and our conversation is beautiful. With Gottfried Euer, obviously, we talked about Otto Gross. The title of this conversation is "The Personal is Political." George Jorgensen, who I didn't know before to meet him. I met him, I went to his class, I liked this guy. I said, "Can we have an interview?" I said, "Of course." And it was lovely. Jung, depth and transformation. With Philip Heim, we talked about Jung, Hegel and Gigerich. With Marianne Nottermeister, we had 2 or 3 interviews, but the one here is about Jung individuation and painting the unconscious. He's a word expert about drawing and painting, sand play. So for sure, this is very, very interesting. With Alfred Riebe, we look at Jung, von Franz, because he was supervised by von Franz. He was one of the closest analysts of von Franz and alchemy. With Murray Stein, we look at individuation and the Red Book. And with Mark Winmore, who is really helpful as a senior teacher with younger students or younger analysts. He's really committed to the development of the young generations. We talked about Jung and becoming a psychoanalyst. And then there is also someone who is not a Jungian analyst, Susie Orbach, who I asked to have a talk with, and she agreed. And we talk about women, feminism, love, revolution. The title of our conversation is "How Are Women Today? Feminism, Love and Revolution." Well, thanks also to Verena Kast, who wrote this, the preface for this book. And I would like to dedicate this book again to Gunther Langwiller, my first training analyst, my daughters Bianca, Olivia and Carlotta, and to the new generation of Jungians, to the new Jungians. Thank you.